Welcome to another episode of Middle Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash. Here with me, as always, is my co-host Joel. Joel, what's going on, man?
Hey man, I'm good, but real quick before we get going, I want to say something. I know normally this is kind of like, funsy podcast.
Yeah.
We try to keep it light and shit, but Tuesday's coming up, election day, and I just want to make sure that people get out there. Just hold on. We'll get to the pee holes later, but Tuesday it's election. This could be the biggest midterm election there is, guys. And I just get out there. I know voting's lame, Joel, but don't do it for me. Don't do it for me and Cash. Do it. I have a daughter. Vote for her. My niece. Vote for her. Just vote for the future. It doesn't take long. It's not really hard. You just get out there and you vote. Are you gonna vote,
Joel? I agree with your message 100%.
All right,
but
get out there. It's Tuesday.
Election day.
This comes out Sunday. This is Tuesday. You guys vote.
Election day was last Tuesday.
It was last Tuesday.
It already happened. It was last Tuesday.
Shit doesn't matter anyway. Fuck it.
Thanks for listening to Middle Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash.
I'm Joel.
And we are a podcast about all things strange and unusual, death and UFOs, and other creepy, weird, random
ghosts.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I'm just naming things in the room.
Oh my god.
There's a cult of ghosts.
So, I hated you were on a roll there, man.
I got on my soapbox. I don't do it often, and this is why.
I appreciated the passion.
Man.
The message,
Are you
appreciated.
Sure?
Yeah.
It was last Tuesday.
Yeah, it was
Or just today's Saturday.
It was the 1st.
Oh.
It was November 1st.
Oh, shit.
Or the 8th.
Yeah, the 8th.
The 8th.
Yeah, man.
So you missed it. But I hope, so you didn't vote?
No.
Well,
I didn't make a difference.
We're in West Virginia,
yeah.
So if you would have been voting anything Democratic, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. Okay. So
I don't matter.
Yeah, we don't matter here in West Virginia.
That feels good.
Yeah, that's great. If you live
I usually get that vibe just walking through the door, but it's good to just put it out there.
To know for sure.
Yeah, it's out now.
Yeah, living in and we live right on the border of Ohio.
Yeah.
So we can't even look over the other state and be like,
not that Ohio's much.
No, that's
better.
what I'm saying. We can't even look at the other state and be like, I could just move right over there. Yeah. That'd be nope. If you move over there, it's even worse.
It's just the Mid-Ohio Valley. That's why they call it the Mid-Ohio Valley. People in Ohio making jokes about West Virginians, you're not much different.
You ain't red, we hope you're dead. That's the state mottos around these days. I feel like Ohio's more in your face about it, though.
In your face? But it's so weird because there's certain cities in Ohio, like the cities I go to, I guess, that are pretty democratic.
They're hip.
Yeah.
They're cool.
But
they smoke jazz cigarettes.
They don't matter, though. None of this matters.
All right.
Not that loud, so that was the joke. The voting doesn't matter.
It doesn't, sadly. Some places, there are some pretty big wins.
Yeah.
For the good guys. I hate saying that. That sounds so douchey. Just for
That's why we're not a political
for
podcast.
the lesser of two evils, there were some victories.
Yeah. Shit sandwich and douchebag.
Unfortunately, Ron DeSantis did have a blowout victory in Florida, so we're probably going to have to deal with his fucking ass.
Yeah, everyone's I saw people we're moving to Florida. Quite good.
He's
everyone get out to Florida because I will never go to Florida.
He's legitimately well-spoken Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's scary.
He's going to be better at speaking and more
You see where Trump was if everyone wins, I won't get any of the credit, but they lose, they'll blame me.
Yeah.
Or I might have got it backwards. I may have fucked up a Trump quote.
Who knows? And he said it differently the next night, so it doesn't matter. All right. So, anyways.
Vote. That's what we're saying. Vote this Tuesday.
Next time.
Just go to the school that you would have voted at and be like, hey, I'm here now.
I demand to vote. It's my right.
Don't go to schools. There's going to be kids there.
Stay away from schools.
Please don't go to
I'll
schools.
remind you next year.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you.
I'll keep you on track.
All right.
Not next year. Whenever it happens again.
Yeah. We're so smart. Whatever.
I just wait for all the signs to start being posted. I'm all right, it's about time to do that thing.
It takes a while to vote, too. Man.
It does. Sometimes you're there for so long.
I remember last year I voted.
Yeah.
It took so long.
Sometimes it's just wait for almost an hour and a half.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's worth it.
It's worth it, though.
Not this year for me, but for you.
I got that sticker.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Oh, the sticker.
You got to have that clout.
I'm going to make my own.
Yeah. No, I threw mine away.
I voted before once,
That's the first time I've ever grabbed a sticker.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And
They
this year,
force them on me.
this year was like, I've gotta.
I gotta show.
I feel the need for some attention.
Yeah.
So
Good job.
I joined.
Good job.
And then I posted it on a social media site and got a response that's from somebody I have no idea who they are, some random, person. And they replied with, good job, slave.
Oh, nice.
I replied back with a kissy face.
Oh, wow. Someone was feeling bold.
I remember being 21 and angsty.
Somebody was bold that day.
Yeah.
Good job, slave.
Yeah. You fucking moron.
What a dipshit.
Like, look, I know voting is just as worthless as everyone else, but I wanted a sticker.
Yeah.
That's a free sticker.
Stickers are awesome.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
Okay.
Speaking of things that really matter, I wanted to get your opinions on a couple things.
All right.
So I know you're a big, your favorite, I think, horror franchise is Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
I think Jason Voorhees is your guy. I
got the tattoo.
You got a couple of them, don't you?
No,
or just the one.
Just the one.
Okay, I don't know why I thought you had something else too. But I just recently rewatched.
I'm getting the machete. You may have.
I thought
we may have talked
machete.
about that. Yeah, I haven't gotten that yet.
But I just rewatched the 2009 reboot. And I wanted to get
Kesha,
your thoughts on it. Yeah. No, Kesha's not in it.
It's another chick that sings.
I forget.
Yeah.
She was big like for that.
Yeah.
Like that time she
gets
kind of
naked.
She's the one on the skis on the water skis.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But then she gets underneath the dock and he stabs her.
Safe.
Stabs her through the dock into the head.
Kill.
And then lifts her up and you see her tits again.
Yeah. I guess I was reading that she was super uncomfortable with the nudity. And then
I don't blame her.
It's a very creepy story, but the director kind of like pressured her into it.
Oh.
Like just telling her like, whatever. And after she did it, she was like, it was the most liberating thing. I love being naked.
Oh, okay.
Now. So I mean, I guess that's a good story.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I watching the movie, like I did not like I would have had the exact same experience watching the movie.
Yeah, without
her being topless.
Yeah.
So
for sure,
director out there, whoever you were,
the director definitely loves some boobs in that movie.
Just quit being weird.
Yeah, because we talked about the other scene too with the.
Yeah. That's basically a porn scene. They don't show any insertion, but it's pretty close.
Yeah,
what do you think of it, though?
I liked it. That's a cool movie. Kind of showed how he can get around so fast because he has his underground tunnels and.
Yeah.
I mean, it was it was an interesting take on it.
Much more aggressive.
I think that was a better reboot than the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Me too.
One.
I'm a big fan of the 2009 Friday the 13th reboot. I thought it was awesome.
I have like the unedited full
I like
uncut.
that he kind of uses the weed grounds as like his hunting grounds because it draws in all the teenagers.
Yeah.
Trying to find the weed.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, the opening scene.
Yeah, the opening's awesome. Where you think that's the cast.
Yeah, they're not.
And they all just but they gave them plenty of time to. Like, where you start to, kind of get to know them, and you're like, all right, I see how this is going. And
there's the asshole of the group, you know, and, it's a cool movie. I like all the movies, though. I mean, even, the bad Jason movies I can still watch. And
I fucking love Jason Goes to Manhattan.
Yeah.
And everybody hates it.
Jason Goes to Space, that's so bad. But that's when it was like, guys, all he wanted was his machete.
That's it. So, sticking with the Friday the 13th, there is a Friday the 13th prequel series coming out before too long. What do you think about that?
I think I'll like it because my favorite Friday the 13th is the first one. That's the one we did our real crime on. Jason. And Jason's not even in it, yeah. But I mean, I still love Jason, love the rest and everything. But I mean, if I could only watch one, I would watch the first one.
So, I'm wondering what it's going to be about, though.
Yeah, because, she goes crazy after Jason dies. So, I mean,
so is it going to be are we going to see child Jason and, see how he
But no one's getting killed there.
But if that's the whole story of just a group of campers picking on a mentally disabled person, it's a damn of a show.
Yeah.
And then
I want some slasher.
The mom's not going to be killing anybody yet.
Yeah.
So I do wonder what the whole point of it's going to be.
Maybe they can I don't even know because they had a Friday the 13th series where it was a bunch of, but it was just kind of like a Tales from the Crypt where it was just
different stories.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's. I don't know. It's gonna.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, I'll watch it.
I'll check it out. Well, yeah.
I may be out after the first episode, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, if it's it's like a coming of age tale.
Yeah, like I said, if it's just gonna be the story of how Jason Voorhees became what he is.
Yeah,
I don't need to watch a whole series. Fucking and
like fucking and
that's not that interesting
kids.
to me. Now, if it's going to be like, turns out Camp Crystal Lake is like a hotbed for like
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
raging murderers.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but instead of the high school, it's Camp Crystal Lake.
Maybe there's like a
and Buffy's in it.
Maybe there's like a spirit there that he like went into like the body of Jason's mom.
Or like the lake kills people. Like they give the lake a mouth and it's like bah, bah, bah,
I'd
bah,
watch
bah.
that. I'd watch the hell out of that. Bah, 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 bah.
Bah, bah, bah. Like people just fall in.
I wish it would. I would love
Or they jump in.
if the lake just does that the whole time, just bah, bah.
Bah,
And then like if you're at the lake, you just gotta be like, well, just don't go over there. Like
the lake's bah, bah again. Just stay away.
yeah, just go to this side of the lake and you're good.
Stay away
Bah,
from
bah, bah.
the rivers have mouths.
Yeah,
So how about a lake?
The mouth of the river.
Bah, 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 bah.
All right. So this week, I've got like multiple stories, all
Cool.
kind of short. But I thought we would cover a few different murders deaths. Not all of these are murders.
Okay.
Like the first couple stories we're going to talk about are deaths that seem like murders. So we're going to start.
Color me intrigued.
I don't know how to do that. I want a color.
It's purple.
Okay.
I don't know why. Purple.
So we're going to start out in 2010 in a hotel room in Texas. And there's a man in the hotel room named Ed Flanagan.
Flanagan.
And when he was found, he had a small abrasion to his face. And the initial thoughts were maybe this is just he had a heart attack, like he scratched himself or fell or whatever. But then the autopsy revealed that his interiors were a complete mess.
Oh, someone feeding him ground up glass?
Close.
Did I guess it?
You were not.
If I'm gonna kill someone, I think I'm gonna ground up some glass and just feed it to him over time.
No.
And while you just watch him like start shitting blood, and they're worried about it, and like they're like, "What?"
You're okay.
And I'm like, "You're all right.
You're fine. It's just
You're
a little,
good."
Little,
Little blood. Fuck.
little butt blood.
I'll let you know when I don't bleed when I shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's totally common.
I said too much.
So apart from some massive bruising around his groin and a small cut,
His groin, you say?
and a small cut.
Man, my groin could use some massive bruising. You know what I'm saying?
Well, do you want this other part too? A small cut on the scrotum.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Cut me, mama.
Including those two, there were also severe internal injuries, including 2 broken ribs and a ruptured heart.
I don't think it's a heart attack.
The injuries were consistent with blunt force trauma, like he'd been beaten. However, there was no bruising.
That's my gangster rap group name.
blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
I think there might be one.
Oh fuck! There's gonna be 2 now.
There was some bruising, or there was no bruising on his chest. The only bruising was around his groin.
Okay.
Like someone had hauled off and just kicked him very hard in the dick.
Where was Johnny Knoxville at when this was going on?
The investigators were able to place the time of death soon after 8:30 p.m. However, there were 3
I
electricians.
feel like I don't want to die before 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, give me a couple more hours to just like enjoy the evening.
I wanna go like
at
2, 3 in
It's
the
been a
morning.
long day. Just let me relax a little bit.
A little bit. I just
A little
got off
bit.
work. I just got
90
home.
minutes, Just let me make it to like 10:30.
I'm trying to
Because I
watch-
should be in bed then
I'm trying
anyway.
to watch my sitcom.
Yeah. I got to say it for the news.
Like, I did get through Jeopardy. Thank you.
Yep. That Jeopardy Wheel of Fortune block.
I do watch that almost every night. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is a big.
Do you like if you're out and you're like, oh, I gotta get home? It's 6:45.
If I'm out, like, if I run to the store,
Yeah.
then I'm like, I gotta get the fuck home. Like, I mean, if I got plans, I don't worry about it. But yeah, if I'm just like out doing something, like I need to get done, I'm like, I really want to make it home in time for at least Jeopardy. I don't mind missing Wheel.
Yeah.
But I do like to watch a piece of Jeopardy. Makes me feel
my
smart.
God. We're learning so much about you.
Where we at? Oh,
He died at 8:30.
so
Someone kicked him in the dick.
maybe.
Maybe.
So yeah, they think about 8:30, sometime after that.
I mean, what if he was just like going at it so hard he bruised himself?
Just really.
Sometimes you miss.
Maybe.
You're stroking so much you miss and you
He's
just
coming up
punch
with new
yourself.
inventive ways. Who knows what he was doing up there? You're in a hotel room, especially.
Maybe he's like trying to fuck between the mattress and the box
Oh,
spring.
when you're in a hotel room, that's when you're like, I don't give a fuck about this place.
I'll stick my dick in there.
I'm gonna get real weird.
He's trying to fuck the microwave.
So next door to him,
Set it on the frost, baby.
next door to him, 3 electricians were staying in a room next to him, and they told the cops that they didn't hear like anything around that time, like they didn't hear any kind of struggle or anything like that. Also, along with Ed Flanagan had a cigarette in his hand that had burned out. Like he
definitely just jayed
like
off.
he had,
Yeah. That cigarette was for the afterglow, you know what I'm saying?
So, he was just having a smoke.
He jayed off everywhere.
So, turns out, Ed Flanagan was shot in the scrotum.
Oh.
So,
That was the tiny cut.
the cops were having trouble figuring out what the fuck happened.
And they're not wanting to look there. Or there might be one cop where that's the first place he looks. He's like, check the scrotum! And this is like the one time, like, God damn it, Bill! He's not going to stop about this now!
We'll look, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And they lift the dick up.
Yeah.
Look, no. Oh my God.
Bill's running around the room, it was the scrotum! So now you know every fucking crime scene, it's going to be a lady, and he's going to check the scrotum.
Check the scrotum.
Like, Bill!
He's like, gender's fluid.
You don't know!
So the cops really couldn't figure anything out. So Flanagan's family called in a private investigator by the name of Ken Brennan. One of the neighbors in the hotel room, they told Ken that they did hear a crack, like a loud crack, which could have been a gunshot. So Brennan starts looking around. He starts investigating. That's what he's been hired to do. And he finds a small bullet hole in the wall between rooms. And it had been,
the cops missed, then.
it looked like it had been concealed up.
They're all looking at the scrotum and be like, check the walls, boys!
Yeah, the cops didn't even bother to look. But it looked like the little hole somebody had taken toothpaste to try to fill it in.
Okay.
So, it turns out that the electricians in the other room had been drinking, and one of them, a guy named Lance Mueller, fired a shot which went through the wall, separating their room from Flanagan's. They thought they heard Flanagan cough from the other room, but what they actually were hearing was probably him, like, well, he may have, like, went, oh!
Yeah.
Something.
Shoot me in the scrotum once, shame on you.
They figured,
Don't do it twice.
They were like, oh, shit, we'll fill up the hole, like,
Yeah.
we didn't mean to damage, they didn't want to probably get caught busted for damages.
So they didn't have any cock on them, huh? You just cock those holes right over. They used toothpaste.
So they put the toothpaste on the hole, and then they all went ahead and headed out to a bar.
Listen, I'm going to head out. Yeah.
So, the bullet had went through the wall and hit Flanagan right in his scrotum.
Wow.
While he was watching Iron Man 2.
So, he was naked. I
guess you would have to be naked.
Yeah, I guess
You
not.
could go through your clothes.
Yeah.
But I would think the cops would see that.
What movie would you want to be killed to?
Not Iron Man 2,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Iron Man 1, maybe.
No.
The Iron Man.
Oh, if I have to just pick out the Iron Man movies, 1.
I would probably want to be killed to Back to the Future 3 because, goddamn, I don't want to watch that movie.
I don't want to be killed.
Just shoot me in the dick.
I don't want to be killed to something real weird.
Yeah. So they'd be like, what's he watching?
Like, what the fuck is he? What was going on?
Schindler's List
Or like something real smart.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, this poor smart bastard.
So not Iron Man 2.
No, not Iron Man 2. Yeah, something weird. Like, I don't know what, but just something real weird.
Vice versa.
What's vice versa?
With Daniel Stern and Fred Savage from the 80s where they switch brains.
Oh.
I always love a good body switch movie.
The 80s love their body switch.
Fuck, dude, I love the body switch movies.
It was like somebody in the 80s just finished some coke, and they were like, holy fuck, what if, like, body switched?
What if the kid became the dad and dad became the kid?
And then they just spread throughout Hollywood, and everybody, like, finished off their line.
Hell
coke,
yeah.
And they're like, we want to do one.
I'm writing.
So the bullet entered his scrotum, went into his body, and just started ricocheting up his body, basically.
Fuck yeah.
So caused massive internal injuries, and then lodged itself in his heart.
It had to be a real small bullet if they said it was just a little tiny cut on
It said, like, the soft skin of the scrotum swelled up.
Yours is soft? It's supposed to be soft?
Yeah, it's not supposed to be rough.
Scaly? Does it say anything about scales?
No, not scaly.
No? Read it again.
You need...
Make sure.
I'm going to go to WebMD real quick. So yeah,
Almost like what's on the roof there? Shingles. Almost feels like a shingle.
Oh, you need to go to the doctor.
Oh, all right.
You need to leave now.
Okay. Huh. Wow.
Or maybe not.
Was that on Jeopardy?
You'll be better protected from stray bullets.
Oh yeah. Shoot me there, buddy.
So how terrible. That is that now goes way up high on my list of worst ways to die.
Yeah. Well, I just sit in a hotel bed, which you've all been there. Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
I've been in hotels by myself. It's just fucking the worst.
But, like, I would rather, if I was going to be shot in the balls and have to die, like, I would rather have a person, like, in the room mad at me and do it. You know what I mean?
And they're shooting you in the balls. You did something with
like,
your
at least
dick.
then you're, like, in the situation.
Yeah.
But to just be, like, chilling out, balls out, watching Iron Man 2, you know, probably, like, having a cigarette, not thinking about anything, and then just all of a sudden...
Definitely not thinking about getting shot in the scrotum.
You feel like just something like...
Oh, man, yeah.
Then you're dead.
And it just rattles up your fucking body. God, man, what a bummer.
Okay, so let's skip around a little bit, go to 2008, and Thomas Hickman. He was a Red
Did he get shot in the dick?
He was a Red Lobster executive.
Oh, man.
And he was found dead in the New Mexico desert.
Did he have any of those cheddar biscuits on him? Cheddar Bay biscuits?
Yes, in his pockets.
Like, that's what it was. They wanted the recipe to the Cheddar Bay biscuits. He's like, oh, take it to my grave.
His mouth was bound with
He's
duct
sleeping
tape.
with the fishes. Huh? Red Lobster?
I get you.
Okay.
Yeah, his mouth was bound with duct tape, and he'd been shot once in the back of the head.
So suicide.
Seemed like pretty classic, you know.
Gangster trying to kneel down.
Yeah.
Shoot in the back of the head.
But through the investigation, they could not figure out that, like, they couldn't figure out anyone that had, like, a grudge against them or, like, any reason why anybody would do this.
I would say beef, but he did seafood. Huh?
I think Red Lobster still steaks.
Let's go. We'll find out.
So his hands, by the time...
I know they do chicken tenders and fries because I'm a child, and that's what I get there when I go.
Oh, that's probably what I would get there, too.
I don't want no seafood.
I hate seafood.
Yeah.
So when they found Hickman, though, his hands had been untied. There was, like, no sign of a struggle. Like, you're out in the desert, so, you know, I'm sure there's dirt, so you could see if there was, like...
Footprints.
A bunch of footprints, or, like, people, you know, like, where he's being dragged or something.
You are such a scientist. It's in the desert, so there's probably dirt and stuff.
Look, I don't want to look for it. Check the
you just paint a picture.
Check the scrotum.
Check his scrotum.
These cacti. His car was there, completely untouched, so it didn't look like anybody had, like, robbed him.
Uh-huh.
It almost looked like somebody had just, like, kind of, like, he willingly went out there with somebody.
Yeah.
And got killed.
And that person disappeared into a UFO.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So,
solved it.
Now I'm going. Do you ever watch the show CSI?
Of course I do.
Okay, dramatic.
What'd I just do? You got
dramatic glass.
I ripped my glasses. I bent them. I just fucked up my glasses. But I used one hand. I ripped them off, and then I said what you guys heard. I was like, "Of course I do."
That's exactly what happened, guys. I was here for it. So
Josh verifies, okay?
In an episode of that show from season 4, a part of the episode is a man kills himself with a gun tied to a bunch of helium balloons.
I think I saw that fucking episode.
So when
it used to be on Spike TV, man. They love the fucking reruns on Spike TV.
So when the balloons float away, it pulls the trigger. Turns out this is exactly what Thomas Hickman did. So
what a dick, man! Like this, it's bad enough to kill yourself. Like don't fucking you know. Like there's answers out there. There's people that'll help them listen, but like. To kill yourself in a way where, like, you're confusing the cops and make them, like, go through all the... They're checking your scrotum. You know, like, we don't need all that.
So, you do... Like, you might take back what you just said, though.
Okay.
So, but he had tied a...
Never in my life have I taken back what I've said, but go ahead and try. Okay, go ahead and try.
So he tied a lightweight gun to a bunch of balloons, duct taped his mouth shut, and then... They did their thing, shot himself in the back of the head.
That's why you no-sold it when I called it a suicide earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the cops, because you guessed it right off the bat.
Right off the bat, yeah.
You knew. The cops...
I ain't taking shit back.
The cops found notes which told his family what to do if something had happened to him.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty clear that he did this because he didn't want the wife to kind of suffer from like thinking he had killed himself for maybe something
Yeah.
like that he had a reason to kill himself. But his wife was seriously ill, and they really couldn't afford the hospital bills and everything. But she would now be able to collect $400,000 off a life insurance policy.
Okay. I feel like the bad guy now.
So, unfortunately, though, it would have worked if
wasn't for those darn kids and their dog.
Fucking balloons would have drifted off.
Yeah.
But it was a windy day, so the balloons, as they start to drift or whatever, the gun's already been, they've already pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
But as the balloons start to drift, the wind picks them up and drags them along the ground, and they get stuck in a cactus, like, right nearby.
Oh.
So the cops end up finding that right there near his body.
What if it was a clown that killed him, though?
What if?
What if? Clowns always got balloons on them.
So, unfortunately, cops figure out it's suicide. So this guy
suicide! It's a suicide!
For no reason.
You ever heard that song? Suicide! It's a suicide! Damn.
I don't think we need a soundtrack for this man's death, though.
No.
So, yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
The guy had a good plan for good reasons.
I think it was an episode of CSI.
And you just assume the cops aren't smart enough to figure things out.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have been.
You would think.
They wouldn't have been if the fucking wind hadn't gone involved.
Yeah, they would have.
So, all right.
Damn. Another bummer. You're 2 for 2 on bummers today.
Yeah.
Good job.
So this next story, you may know. A lot of people listening will probably know as soon as I say a certain
people
name.
Listen to this?
There's maybe 3.
What?
So the 3 of you, thank you. So to the people of Springfield, Missouri, Dee Dee Blanchard was a hero. She dedicated her life to caring for her chronically ill daughter, Gypsy. That ring any bells?
Nope.
Okay. She suffered from chromosomal defects, muscular dystrophy, eye problems, epilepsy, severe asthma, sleep apnea, and brain damage, among other ailments. She'd even had leukemia as a child.
Damn.
The Gypsy was very frail. She used a wheelchair to get around and often needed a feeding tube and an oxygen tank. As if that wasn't enough, Dee Dee's other family abused Gypsy until Dee Dee herself stood up to them and then fled her hometown with her daughter. Their new home was then destroyed in Hurricane Katrina, but Dee Dee carved out a new life for them in Missouri. Dee Dee Blanchard was precisely one... So the whole town was absolutely horrified when they found out that Dee Dee had been found stabbed to death in her home in 2015. To make matters worse, Gypsy was nowhere to be found.
Oh.
And on their joint Facebook account, messages were posted which declared things like, "That bitch is dead." The comments, there was a poster, somebody in the comments posted, "I fucking slashed that fat pig and raped her. Sweet innocent daughter. Her scream was so fucking loud, LOL." So, you're pretty typical.
We went really dark really fast
You're pretty typical comment section,
that sounds about like Facebook. That sounds about right.
Turns out, though, Gypsy had done it. It was Gypsy all along.
The kid?
The kid. Gypsy Blanchard had her mother killed. She also wasn't sick at all. She was a perfectly healthy 23-year-old girl who was fully capable of walking, talking, planning a murder. She did not... However, though, she did not know how old she actually was.
Damn. What the fuck?
And her decision to murder her mother was the result of Dee Dee having a nasty case of Munchausen by proxy. So
I don't know what that means.
It's when
Is that where you eat a lot?
No, it sounds like it though.
Yeah.
So
you eat a lot of proxy or something?
Let me look it up so I can be accurate here. But basically, you project illnesses onto someone else.
Okay.
Because
she probably liked the attention of being the lady with the sick kid. And...
Yeah, it is a mental illness and a form of child abuse. The caretaker of a child, most often a mother, either makes up fake symptoms or causes real symptoms to make it look like the child
I
is
think
sick.
that was an episode of CSI.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she had done this to Gypsy.
We should review CSI episodes.
Let's become the CSI podcast.
Shut this shit down, okay? You done bummed me out. I missed voting.
We need some David Caruso, damn it.
Yeah. Don't make me take my glasses off dramatically again.
So she had been faking her daughter's illnesses ever since Gypsy was a baby.
It's awful.
As Gypsy grew up, her mother shaved her head, fed her liquid nutritional supplements and tranquilizers, and forced her to use a wheelchair in public. Dee Dee reported a ton of symptoms to different doctors.
That is so psycho, man.
Who helped by prescribing medication and performing numerous surgeries, including one to Gypsy's eye muscles, and one completely removing her salivary glands.
Jesus.
So these doctors are just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll do that for you.
I mean,
you seem really sad and upset.
The only advice we ever have is lose weight.
Salvatore, so she couldn't have saliva anymore?
So salivary glands.
Like, what the fuck is that? What good is that? Like, what? She's got too much...
Yeah,
they think she was, choking on or something because she's so, immobile or something?
Yeah, I would assume that would,
That's fucking crazy. And, they're like, you're going to pay us, right? Your insurance will cover that?
Couldn't make saliva. So which would mean she would have to drink those fucking, drinks and stuff because she wouldn't be able to... So...
It's like cottonmouth forever.
Finally, one of Gypsy's tests came back negative for something, and the staff at the clinic became suspicious. When Dee Dee was questioned, she just stopped going to that doctor altogether.
Yeah.
Because,
You done found me out.
She had been, what's the word I'm looking for here? Defrauding multiple charities.
Yeah.
At the time of her
people are, I'm sure, she's tugging at heartstrings, so they're helping her, but they could be helping other people that really need that.
Or helping Gypsy.
Yeah.
At the time of her murder, they lived in a house built by Habitat for Humanity, complete with a customized amenities like a hot tub that would help with Gypsy's muscles.
God.
Which, I'm sure Dee Dee never used.
No.
So trapped,
sipping wine.
She was trapped with her mother. Gypsy was raised along with the deceptions.
She was on box wine.
She was in a ton of pain all the time. However, as the years went by, she began to resent her mother. She also began to spend a lot of time on the internet.
Yep.
She made friends with a guy named Nicholas Gottingen, and they became a couple.
Uh-huh.
And then together, what she kind of figured out was going on, the two hatched a plan to murder Dee Dee.
No, that does seem like an extreme reaction.
Now, the
I
smart
feel like
thing
the guy could have just get her out of there.
Go to the cops.
Yeah, just get her out of there. Yeah.
I
mean, not sticking up for Dee Dee in any way, but I mean, that just doesn't...
Instead, Nicholas entered the house and brutally murdered Dee Dee with a serrated knife.
They went to 11 really fast.
Yeah.
They skipped 10 whole numbers.
Police were tipped off after a friend of Gypsy's mentioned her secret online boyfriend. Gypsy was found in Gottigen's apartment without the wheelchair, and just being she was way better health. When the cops went to find her, they assumed she was a sick girl in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So they show up. She has no wheelchair. She's healthy.
They haven't been giving her. The mom hasn't been giving her tranquilizers and all the other bullshit.
So she ended up taking a plea deal for a second-degree murder charge.
Man, what'd she do?
She's
10 years?
10-year sentence.
Okay.
And her boyfriend, at the time this was written, so her boyfriend's been convicted since then, but he was. So yeah, I mean, this girl, and like you said, they took it to an 11 real quick.
Yeah.
So in one way, though, it's hard to blame her for wanting.
And who knows what the mom would tell her? Maybe they were fighting. The mom was like, I'll kill you before I let you.
And if the cops show up, who knows what the mom might be able to just talk her way out of it.
Yeah.
And now, internet gets taken away. The mom increases tranquilizers. Who the fuck knows what she would have done? So
that's man.
Yeah, if they would have had a better plan, killing the mom might have been the best way out. Really, I mean, sad as that is. Okay, so. That was pretty bummer.
Yeah.
These are all bummers.
You got it. I like them, though.
We're talking about death, so it's hard not to be a bummer.
They're interesting. They're very interesting.
Yeah. So this one is 2005, when a Alaskan man named Richard Bennett just vanished into thin air. He had seemed, though, like he wanted to disappear. He had given all of his belongings away to friends and family. And then then he just kind of disappeared. No one knew where he went, though, or really why, until a few months later when his family found a body in the woods near his trailer.
Check the scrotum!
The head was missing.
Scrotum?
Everybody kind of does attribute that, though, to wild animals.
Yeah.
But the remains matched. So the remains, that's his dick. The remains matched, but that is his scrotum. They matched his description.
That's his soft, baby-like scrotum.
They matched, he was roughly the same size, age bracket, everything.
Yeah.
Even wearing the clothes that he would have wore. Forensic anthropologists found a healed break in the shin, which they compared with x-rays from the time Bennett broke his leg in a motorcycle accident. It was a perfect match. So
it's pretty much him, they think.
The Bennett's family buried the body in 2006.
The Bennett family buried the body.
Mm-hmm. 2006. The Bennett family buries the body.
The Bennett body was buried.
Yes, the Bennett body was buried by the Bennett family.
Yep.
In 2004, another area, also named Richard, this man's name is Richard Hills, he had gone missing as well. This was, again, in Alaska. So his crash car was found with keys still in the ignition. His tracks went on for about a quarter mile and then just kind of vanished. He had been running with kind of like a bad crowd in this time, but there was no indication that he was either killed or committed suicide or had intentions of committing suicide. And since nobody could find any remains, the case went unsolved for around 10 years. Turns out that the body that was found that everybody thought was Richard Bennett was not. It was Richard Hills. As it turns out, Hills had also broken his leg in an old accident.
What are the chances?
And the two breaks were almost identical.
Wow.
They were both also roughly the same age. They had about the same build and wore about the same kind of clothes. And then they both, went missing in the same area around the same time. The mix-up wasn't figured out until 2014. There was a forest fire on the Kenai Peninsula, which revealed the bones of a third person. State troopers started looking through the list of local disappearances. They discovered some ignored DNA data that was suggesting that the body release of the Bennett family was not...
Ignored DNA? We don't need to check that DNA. Sure, we tested it.
We've got his legs.
Fuck, we don't gotta check that DNA stuff.
So,
just ignore it.
Through that DNA, they figure out that the body of the
It's like
Bennett's...
they send to him in text and there's an ignore button. He's like, it's not now, okay? I'm watching CSI.
Yeah. So they figured out that it was Hill's body. He had stumbled toward the Bennett's property after his car crash, only to collapse and succumb to his injuries. Plus the elements, animals and everything. As for Richard Bennett, the original man we were talking about, his fate, nobody knows what happened to him still.
Oh.
The bones they found in the fire that was a totally different person. But it ended up making them kind of relook at some cases.
Yeah.
And they figured out. So nobody knows what happened to Richard.
What if Bennett really killed Hills and tried to pass his body out?
Maybe.
And he just wanted to disappear. Sometimes you just want to disappear.
All right.
That's a lot of work to have to do first, to kill a guy and all that.
Cut his head off.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Well, yeah.
I just want to disappear.
So, last one. We're going to go all the way back to 1922. Fred Osterich, he was an apron magnate, which means he was a big apron seller.
Okay.
He ran the largest apron clothing. Back in 1922,
he had the apron game covered.
Yes,
because the apron covers the front of you when you're cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it covered.
He had it covered, didn't he?
Imagine living in a time where
that joke would have been funny.
Yeah, imagine.
Imagine.
It's hard.
It is.
So, where you could be successful selling one item.
Yeah, just aprons.
Yeah. You got anything? I could really use some milk and bread.
Do you have, oven mitts or anything?
No, I have aprons.
We have aprons.
That's it.
We got you covered. Did you hear the slogan?
Yeah. I can't believe it took people so long to figure out the idea of a store. like where it was like we have a lot of them. Like I can't believe it took people that long to be like, why don't we just put everything in one store?
And who uses an apron? How messy are you getting cooking?
We'll separate it by departments. And then this guy's like, what do I do about my aprons?
I have an apron store.
Like, we'll buy them directly from you. Oh, no.
It sounds like that lake.
Okay, so he was shot dead in his Los Angeles.
Anyway, he was shot dead.
Anyways, like everybody else,
I'm not even going to bring up his scrotum.
In Los Angeles, in his Los Angeles mansion. He owned a mansion. He sold so many aprons, he owned a mansion.
He had an apron mansion. Aprons in every room. He didn't even wash aprons. He just threw them away when he was done. He wiped his ass with aprons.
Yeah. The police found his wife.
He lit aprons on fire to light $100 bills to light his cigar. It was a lot of work to do, but
my God,
it impressed people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He would have aprons made out of $100 bills.
Yeah.
And then light those on fire to light his $100 bills.
To wipe his ass.
To wipe his ass.
It burned every time.
But he didn't care. So
he had a room for that in the mansion.
The police found his wife. Her name. Her middle name is Dolly.
Okay.
And she probably should have went with. I assume she's probably went with that because her first name is Wahlberga. Wahlberga.
Isn't that a show like about like
yes.
Donnie Wahlberg's
hamburger?
Wahlbergs? Yeah. Say hello to your mother for me.
Say hello to your mother for me. Eat a Wahlberga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, Dolly, eat a Wahlberga.
So they find her screaming in a closet. We gotta get this. We gotta get this joke with him. So, anyways, terrible thing.
Terrible.
No, so she's screaming in the closet.
All right, he dead. She's screaming in the closet.
And it's locked from the outside. So she's the only living person in the house. So she immediately becomes.
Why would you have a closet that's locked from the outside? You try to keep your clothes in there?
Look, in the 20s, people did awful shit.
Just unlock that shit from the outside if you want it in there.
One of the first houses I ever lived in, my bedroom had a lock. All the bedrooms had a lock on the outside only. So like you couldn't we were all like, do not lock your fucking door.
How did you get asleep? What the fuck? Put like bell on your door as soon as it starts to move. Like, what is that? Don't do it.
You just have to be real careful not to lock it.
Yeah.
So where am I? She became the prime suspect. However, it was impossible for her to be the murderer. There was no way that she could have locked herself in the closet.
Were there balloons?
Without some
made out of
secret
aprons?
passage.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So
did she say that? She's like, "There's no way I could have killed him, not unless there's like a secret passage."
Yeah, and, don't look for any of those. Yeah. There's none.
They're like, "All right, well, we don't know then."
All right, well,
it is 1920.
All right, ma'am. Well, we won't look for those.
So like the butcher is probably also the cop. He's like, "All right, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll get back to the shop.
I don't give a fuck. This guy has a mansion because he sells fucking aprons. I can't even afford a fucking apron.
Yeah. I gotta use one of my kids as an apron.
You know what? I live here now. Yep. What are you gonna do? Call the cops?
It's me.
I'm the sheriff. Fuck you. So,
that'd be a good show, The Sheriff Butcher.
The Sheriff Butcher.
He gotta cut down on crime.
The Sheriff Butcher in the Apron Mansion.
Yeah.
So
cut down on crime and T-bones.
Dolly had a lover on the side. His name was Otto.
I've tried to love the side. It's hard. You usually gotta pick either the front or back. But if you're just loving on the side, I mean, there's friction.
You can figure that out.
Yeah, you get some friction and stuff.
Look, sometimes you gotta work for it.
Yeah.
Life.
Show what you can do on the side, and then maybe like one of the ends will open up.
You gotta adapt. You gotta be ready for anything on game day. So
all in the field.
Her side piece, Otto.
That's a good side piece name.
Had secretly been living in the attic of the mansion.
How big is this goddamn house?
He's an apron magnate, Joel. It's giant.
He would just cover himself in aprons and walk around the house.
Then, fucking Fred will see him and be like, those are my aprons.
Yep. That's what I built.
So before this also wasn't the first secret attic that he lived in. Before the ostriches moved to Los Angeles, Otto spent 10 years stashed away in the attic of their Milwaukee home.
Oh, all right.
So this has been going on for...
He's literally a kept man.
Yes.
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 That's his job, to just live in secret and fuck her.
He began the affair with Dolly while he worked for Fred. When the neighbors became suspicious of his frequent visits, Dolly convinced him to quit his
They
job.
fucked in just aprons.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they'd be naked and just have aprons on.
They would
and
just pile of aprons.
put holes in,
fucking
like, the
them.
front of it. Like, she has a special apron with the hole in it.
Since neighbors started
Shoot it all over me. I'm wearing
Since
an apron.
neighbors started seeing him show up all the time, they kind of got suspicious.
Yeah.
So she said, hey, just quit your job, move into the attic. We can fuck whenever. And he was like, yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
I get to live for free.
Well, what did he do all that? Was like before internet and media.
Well, I'm assuming Fred was out working.
Oh,
today,
yeah.
So he was just like,
aprons don't make themselves.
6 a.m., Fred's out the door. And it's,
What is
it's
the
time for
self-picture
Pound
an
Town,
apron?
baby.
Do you cook a lot? No. All right. Well, I'll be on to the next house then. Like, it's either you need an apron or you don't. You're not convincing someone to get an apron.
Otto and Wahlberg are just banging
Yeah.
24/7.
You don't know where Dolly ends and Otto starts.
So I can actually answer your question about what he was doing.
Okay.
So he would make his visits to Dolly. They'd get their banging on. But then most of the time though, he would just be completely alone in the attic, reading, sleeping on his little small cot that he had, drinking bathtub gin, and writing Pulp Fiction stories.
All right.
So, like on one hand, you don't have to pay rent. You got this piece of ass down here anytime you want it. But on the other hand, it's like, can I get like a bed?
Maybe a sandwich? I've been eating all this pink insulation.
Could you put on one of those aprons and make me a sandwich? And then, she's looking at him like, I own you. And he's like, I'll put the apron
Get that
on.
dick out.
Yeah. So leave
it out.
Also, during these years, Dolly was the only person Otto ever saw.
Wow.
He would later say that he was essentially her sex slave, and that he loved her as a boy loves his mother. Which,
You're not helping yourself, Otto.
Otto, you're a weird dude.
Maybe less words.
So, Fred was a heavy drinker, but he did start to notice strange noises coming from the attic, mysterious shadows, the occasional missing cigar.
Cum everywhere. He's like, that is not my cum.
Yes, I know my cum.
I know where I came.
That is not
That is not it.
So yeah, this was when they lived in the old house in Milwaukee. So like he kind of like all this stuff started, was happening, like the noises, the shadows, the missing shit. So he kind of started to think he was maybe going insane. So he thought they should move. So that's why they moved to L.A. But everything in the house went with him. So Dolly, the only thing she really wanted to make sure the mansion had was an attic. She's like, I just have to have an attic. Like I can't tell you why. I just have to have one. And somehow, I don't know how the fuck they pulled it off, but somehow Otto secretly moves with them.
Probably dressed as one of the movers, just like put on a jumpsuit.
So one day, Otto overhears Fred and Dolly having a very loud, violent fight, argument. He charges downstairs. He has both of Fred's guns, and he fires three rounds into Fred's chest. Then he locked Dolly in the cupboard and went back to the attic. Police showed up, like we talked about at the beginning. They can't find anybody else in the house. They don't think to even check the attic.
I don't even think they checked the attic.
If they did check,
we yelled up there. Hey, is anyone up there?
If they did check it, they didn't see him.
Yeah.
So they go ahead and assume that it's Dolly that did it. She's still alive. She's the only one in the house. And Dolly, she ain't no.
This was not on.
She's
CSI.
no fucking snitch. So she tells the cops that it was a burglar. And
she's not a snitch.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah.
She's loyal.
She's loyal.
She's other than to the husband.
Yes.
She's really loyal. Not to Fred, but loyal to Otto.
But this way, the cops apparently her telling them it was a burglar was enough for the cops to go, well, all right.
Yeah.
So she's off the hook. And now you would think, well, Otto can come down from the attic now.
Come on down, big boy.
He gets to live in the fucking main mansion now.
He's probably like a scared cat, though.
He took care of it.
He gets really frightened. Like someone's at the door and he's just like...
Very skittish.
He's like, no, Otto, it's okay.
Unfortunately for Otto, he continued just to be her personal attic sex slave.
Yeah.
Because she struck up a new relationship with her late husband's attorney, Herman.
All right.
And a businessman named Roy.
I mean, get it, Dolly.
Yeah.
Get it.
Shapiro became, that's Herman. He became suspicious of Dolly when she gifted him an expensive watch, which looked a lot like the one that she said the burglar had stolen. And Roy didn't care much for the way Dolly casually asked him to get rid of a gun. That, you know, she's like, hey, I got this gun. You think you can do something with it? So
it's not the one that killed my husband.
The other gun, she randomly asked a neighbor if they would bury the gun in their backyard for her.
Dolly is not very smart.
So you think, you know, maybe like this is Dolly's doing some terrible cover-up work here. But she also did ask a guy once to like live in an attic and fuck her.
Yeah.
And he said yeah. So she's probably like, I can get away with fucking anything.
Yeah.
I told those
for
cops.
10 years, for over a decade.
Yeah, I told those cops it was some random dude, and they were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's probably like, I can fucking do whatever I want. But Roy Klum, he went to the police with a story and said like, hey, she wants me to get rid of this fucking gun for her.
Yeah.
And so Dolly is arrested in 1923. But they still have no evidence that she did anything. So
she's locked in a freaking closet.
they once again have to let her out. Or no, so she does. They do end up getting her put in jail, but they really don't have any evidence to really make a case.
Yeah.
While she's in jail, she tells which guy was this? She's got too many dudes. Herman. She tells Herman about Otto and begs him to go buy groceries for him because hey, he's got to eat or he's gonna die.
Yeah,
so, like,
I mean,
you know,
he's got to have energy to fuck me.
Can you take care of my fish for me? So Shapiro did.
Oh.
He went and bought the guy groceries.
Fucking cocks, man.
And Otto was like, "Oh, this is awesome! I have a friend now."
Yeah.
So him and Herman become buddies because of this, and he tells Herman everything. Everything.
Well, he hasn't been around anybody other than fucking Dolly.
He has no idea. So Herman immediately goes to the police, and by immediately I mean 7 years later.
You gotta think about it.
And the only reason he went is because Dolly had just broken up with him. So the statute of limitations for manslaughter had expired, so everyone got away with it.
Can I be really vulgar for a second?
Yes.
How good is Dolly's pussy? If all these dudes, if I could be like Kevin Hart for a second, or like really one of these vulgar fellas, I'm not normally vulgar, but how good is that box that all these dudes, this guy waited 7 years knowing that she's fucking another guy, getting him groceries.
And, I mean, honestly, like, because Otto told him what happened, so this dude's also got to think, like, I better not raise my voice once.
Yeah.
Because Otto's going to come down and fucking kill me.
I better be friends with this guy, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dolly lived the rest of her life as a free woman.
Oh.
And, like, had basically inherited all of the late husband's wealth.
Yeah.
She
all that apron
just
money.
had dudes. Like, who knows? Like, did she have a basement, too?
Yeah.
Like, she's got
a back door?
She's got a dude in every room of the house.
Yeah.
Basically.
Go Dolly.
And they're all just buying groceries for each other. And not a bad life. Now that I think about it.
I mean, yeah. Listen, if you're out there and you're listening, you see someone live in your attic and, you know, do a little work every now and then.
Free rent. Free food.
Holla at your boy.
Yeah, all you got to do is stay in an attic.
And don't touch my scaly scrotum.
Let's webbing me something real quick. Actually, you know what? I'm going to Google scaly.
You're going to see. Can you rotate the screen? Because I don't want to see the pictures that come up for this.
I'm not scared.
I got to back away.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's what I look at in the mirror every morning.
Oh, no. That looks like... That one kind of looks like an everything bagel.
They're not soft? They don't look soft?
They look bad.
Beat the fuck up?
My God. Oh, that one looks kind of like an alien.
Oh, why are you still looking at it?
Oh, wow. That's...
Josh is just scrolling now. Scrolling the scrotum.
Yep. Oh.
Scrolling the scaly scrotum.
There's one dude's on here going, like, check out my package hands. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Good God, man. You need to go to the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you might die.
But we also established you can protect me from being shot in the scrotum, so.
So, you know.
And plus, I'll never go to a hospital. So I'll live with it.
You might just want to go, like, stop by the store and get yourself, like,
Just show them at the store? Ask them what they think?
Yeah, because what you want is their best cheese grater.
Oh!
And then you're just going to go home and try to get off like the top layer of that.
Oh, I'll get off all right.
Yeah, while you're doing it.
Don't worry about that!
But yeah.
Wink!
I think you just need to keep it sanded down a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
You know, maybe put some lacquer on there. Get it nice and shiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
All these are good ideas.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to make your scrotum look more appealing.
Yeah, thank you.
So...
I'm glad.
And you're not giving me much to work with.
I'm glad I didn't see those pictures. I saw it for like half, a little bit out of my peripheral.
I've seen way worse than that.
That's nothing to you.
That's fucking scaly scrotums. That's nothing to me. The things I've seen.
On a Saturday scaly scrotum.
Yeah, that's what I call Saturdays. Scaly scrotum Saturdays.
Yep, I gotcha.
All right. Well, don't forget to get out and vote.
Yeah. Hey, are you excited?
Oh, about...
Because you just got tickets today.
Oh, we
the
have
Friday, December 2nd.
That's right, at Monsters Horde.
Yeah, you got to go check out the show today. Or you checked out the store.
I checked out the store.
Talked to the owner, Aaron.
Uh-huh.
We talked about maybe doing a live podcast there.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
Might do one. If we can get enough people interested.
Yeah, but we're going to definitely, there's a comedy show coming up with me, Carlin Haggerty, and Jacob Hall. You got your table.
December 2nd. Monsters Horde toy store in Marietta. It's on Putnam Street.
313
Putnam Street. You can get $10 a ticket.
Yep.
Or you can reserve a table for 4 for $50.
Because he doesn't have a lot of tables.
Now, I understand when you hear one ticket for $10, or you can get a table for $50 that you're thinking the math doesn't work out there, but you get a table to set your things on, and you get beverages and snacks and things like
and
that.
he asked you what you wanted, too, so he's
I got to put together a little grocery list. Yeah.
Aaron's going to hook it up. It's going to be a really fun show. And
Yeah.
the stage will have carpet on it.
Stage will have carpet, and then while you're there, you can buy yourself like a record.
There's I got some good
figure.
stuff. I got Billy Idol record today. Some pins,
some pins,
Wink.
Ninja Turtle pins.
Yep. And a Rotar, the He-Man toy.
So the show doors open at 6:45. Show will start about 7.
Yeah.
So get there around 6:45. Check out the store a little bit. Maybe buy a couple things.
Yeah, and the store will be closed. But I mean, when you're there and you see something you want,
I'm sure
you can buy
there's
it.
something you like. Yeah. And then after the show, check some stuff out. But Joel will be hosting. The two performers will be Jacob Hall and Carlin Haggerty.
Yeah, Jacob's closing. Carlin's featuring.
It'll be a good time.
No word on their scrotums. I'll ask.
We'll figure it out, though.
Yeah.
That's going to be question
I'm going to a comedy show tonight. We couldn't promote that because I just found out about that yesterday. Yeah. The host had to cancel, and Lori Graves, who just runs a ton of shows.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably could have picked one of like dozens upon dozens of comics.
Dozens and dozens.
And she picked me. Because I think I have that special quality that kind of makes me stand out from all those other comics. Right. PA system.
Oh, okay.
But when I bought my PA system, Carlin told me, he said, if you buy that, you'll get shows just because. I mean, I've worked with Lori before. Yeah. She trusts me, I know. But yeah, it's definitely, I got the show because she's out of town. The original host got stuck where he was. So, so I'm about to go to Jackson, Ohio to the stock room. And you don't want to come, I'm not sad about it. I'm okay with it.
I got a Saturday night.
I'm not going to cry the whole time there because you didn't want to go. I'll be fine.
Okay.
All right.
I'm glad.
Good.
Okay.
Why'd you bring it up?
You did.
But yeah, I'm excited. This will be my second show this year, which, by math, the toy store will be my third show of the year. By math. I say that a lot.
According to math,
it'll be my third. But I'm hoping, man. I like the feeling of having some comedy. I definitely want
to do more of it.
I need to get back into it. Yeah, for sure.
You need to get out there on the road.
I know.
Spread the fucking message of the podcast. Yeah. I'm doing the computer work. You got to do the leg work.
I should.
with you and your scaly
I
scrotum.
know. I could do a lot of walk with that sail. You know, it doesn't get like all like like the Gold Bomb commercials where you can kind of get that, where it kind of hurts in the groin.
Oh, see, I would think it would hurt a lot.
I'm so scaly. No, it's dead.
I think it'd
there.
be itchy.
It's so dead
okay.
down there.
It's just a barren wasteland.
Ladies.
Yeah.
This was fun. This was
I
a good
think
episode.
you offer something different. You know what I mean? Like,
I definitely offer something different.
Like-
That's the nicest, kindest way to put it.
ladies, aren't you tired of smooth scrotums? Don't you want something like rough, like a working man scrotum?
Yeah.
That scrotum has done some work.
It's been around.
Yeah, it's got calluses on it.
Yeah.
You know, when you feel that scrotum, you're with a man.
I'm a man. Don't touch my toys.
I think I just wrote your.
Don't touch my toys, though.
I think I just wrote your Tinder profile for you.
Oh, do I have to get back on Tinder? No.
Oh yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
scaly scrotum.
You got.
That'll be my fucking bio.
You got a hook now. All right. Well, I think on that note, it's time for this to end.
Look, my scrotum is really smooth. This has all been like this whole episode has been a jest. Okay, it's fun to kid, but
Well, there goes your Tinder profile. There goes the fucking specialness.
blew it at the end. Story of my life.
All right. Until next time.
Vote.
Get out and vote on Tuesday. Even if they tell you, sir, ma'am, voting was last week.
What are you doing with your life?
You say no.
Yeah, you
This
vote.
is my goddamn
no.
right.
Yeah.
I am voting.
Vote.
Give me a paper with names on it. I will pick them.
Yeah. Is Joel a good boy? Yes or no?
Yes
Vote
or
now.
no?
Vote now.
I did write that in on everyone's ballot when I voted. They didn't know what it was. Apparently illegal.
You etched it into the screen.
Yeah, apparently the cop said I can't do that, but I was like, I'm a fucking American.
Yeah, and Joel's a good boy.
Sir. Can I talk to your manager, sir?
It was
what
a lady. She's like, call me ma'am.
Yeah. And I said, no, sir.
No, sir.
You're in a uniform and I respect it, sir. All right, bye.
Bye.